8 under for opening round. What'd you like about your round?
Kind of everything. I made what I actually really liked about my round, ironically, was a par I made on 16. It was the best par on a par 3 I've ever had in my life. I hit the worst tee shot, and then I honestly I chipped it down in the bunker. It was about the best I could do, and then I holed it out of the bunker. But it was such a circus show, so that was very enjoyable. It's ironic that a par would kind of be the thing that kind of just like really, resonated with me the most. But overall, I played very, very solid today. The putter was great. Obviously, you don't shoot 8 under par unless you're making some putts. And I hold some nice putts, whether it was a couple par saves I had that were in that mid-range, and then obviously some nice birdie putts as well.
On island golf, what's the key to navigating around and taking advantage of a low wind day like today?
Man, I mean, obviously the challenge with this course is so much elevation change. So when you do get a low wind day, it's a little easier to gauge those shots uphill and downhill. And that's necessary. This is not a long golf course, so when you get the wedges in your hands on a day like today, you got to take advantage of it. And of course, you can, Lord knows, you can hit it close and not make putts. And I was able to make the putts when I needed to today. That's again, the scores are obviously very low, but you just need to hold putts because the golf course was available for a lot of it today.
Like you said, staying hot with the putter, but where are you feeling most comfortable with your game right now?
Honestly, everything feels pretty good. I drove the ball really well today. I felt really good on tee shots, and everything just felt really at peace. So if I can keep that going for the 3 more days, that'll be the key. Because again, if you're leaning on one part of your game, sometimes that can it may make it a little more difficult to kind of maneuver through things through 4 days. But I feel good about everything, so hopefully I can just keep cruising throughout the bag.
You mentioned to Doug Bell earlier, this is like the best you felt physically and mentally. What is the work that you've kind of put into that's led to this?
Honestly, I found my faith again, and I went away from it for a long time. And my journey, I've done some interesting things by what most people would consider their standard of things, but I didn't seek out therapy. I actually sought out plant medicine, and it changed my life for the better, and it's got me in a place of so much more peace, and the healing that I've been able to experience through the medicines that I've sat with has been, there's no way any therapist could ever give me what I've gotten from that. So, and a lot of people probably would push back on me for doing unconventional things, but for me it has been a complete and utter blessing, and I know I wouldn't be standing here feeling the way I feel and just at the place I am in my life if it wasn't for some of the choices that I made in that respect. And it's amazing. I really truly feel that God directed me to it, and it's been amazing. So I'm blessed in that respect.
And how big and crucial is that from having that at peace, but then in these starts where you kind of don't know where they're coming, but taking advantage of weeks like this?
Yeah, it's crazy. I even though I felt so much peace in my life off the golf course, it's kind of been like still kind of very tumultuous on it. But I feel like things are starting to settle down a little bit. Again, when your life feels a little bit out of sorts, it's very difficult to have everything feel like it can come together. And I don't want to call it chaotic, but when you're really experiencing some ups and downs and some turbulence in your life, it's just really hard to quiet the mind and get yourself focused on the things you need to be focused on. And of course, I went through that for a long time, and I put myself through a lot of grief and a lot of suffering, going through that. But now that I feel like I'm kind of getting my head in the right place and sorted a lot of things out, I just honestly and the other thing is I just really don't care anymore. I used to put so much pressure on myself, and I used to just bury my head in the sand, so to speak, and there's no good ever coming out of that. Everybody tells you, hey, how do you, get in the zone? It feels like flow, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're golfing or in any aspect of your life. When you're putting yourself through that kind of grief and that kind of turmoil, it's a choice you're making, and I realized that I was making that choice, and now I'm trying to make new choices, and I think I'm doing a better job at it. So it's just one of those things where I just don't care. I really don't. There's so much more to the journey than golf, and that's just the way I look at it. And I want to enjoy this. I don't want it to feel like it's like this weight on me that it used to be. So that's just exactly where I'm at, honestly.
It's working well.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good evening.